Hey, 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 hey.
Broke and wrought the best. What's happening? Islam mode. Islam mode. Get right to it. Recently, we had me showing some pointers dealing with a few questions I had. Some of them questions came over the span of years because a lot of those guys, they're older now, got children and stuff like that, married, jobs. One time for Fahim, the dynasty, Wendell Maxwell, he lost his life on the job. You know, myself, a lot of his blood brothers, MOB, and myself, we feel pretty bad. Me personally, I feel pretty bad because we was on him a lot. He was one of the last ones out of a clique that was getting into a lot of trouble, going to jail, and all of them changed their life around. That was like the last one. Ali, Fahim, the dynasty, Wendell Maxwell, right? You got Ali, blood child, who doesn't like us to call him. He does not like us to call him blood child anymore, but I still do. They don't understand how important it is to me that I finally bridged that gap. You know what I'm saying? And really built some lasting lifetime bonds with some official People Nation and Folk Nation members. They don't know how much that means to me. They don't understand the struggle and all that, the saga. Went into all that. I had to make my booms in the underworld, in Blase Squaze, in the face of all that resistance. But they all turned their life around. Fahim was the scraggler. Fahim was the risk taker, still undaunted, but all that time he was facing. Y'all can see this too. So it hurt me a lot, man. He had a freak accident on the highway out of town. I forgot what state. I gotta go back and research. Out of state, CDL driving tractor trailer, and a couple or a few people was in the car, made some funny type of move. He just tried not to hurt him, and he did to avoid that accident. But he ran into the pillars that hold up the overpass, and that truck's contents was all that semi-truck tractor trailer. The contents were strewn all over the highway. Might have had a little mini explosion or whatever. And he transitioned. And I feel real bad because we pressured him. We know he was getting pressure at home. We're gonna always get it at home. And we pressured him, man, because we just didn't want him to go to jail. Mainly, man, he was real tough, so we wasn't really fear like for his life or nothing, but it's mainly we just wanted him to not stop going to jail. And he finally did it. And that's how I got the highlight to it. Hurts me a lot. It hurt me a lot to think about that. But these are some of the people that really asked me the most questions. Asher Dash Moran was one of them. Asked me the most questions when it comes to life, period. More so than ever. And so a lot of these questions, and of course I started being more online when I couldn't get to class. Couldn't get to class consistently, so I just started going online more. It's a lot to learn. It's basically 99.9% of what you're gonna get in class, because when you go to class, you gotta listen, you gotta look. That's all you can do online. A lot of times in class, they don't want you to say nothing. Just shut up. let the instructor talk. Just listen and absorb that. Focus on that. So, being that I do have a background in being touched, right? Swept, thrown, break falls, and all this, I can get a lot from watching online. But still, my first choice is somebody in 5D, 5-dimensional, 3-dimensional. So, I got something you can see now that's on camera. So, hopefully, because this is not scripted, hopefully I get some type of genius and come up with a variation. Each technique, there's 1,000 variations. But I'm gonna go over the fight science and the body mechanics. We're gonna build, this time you can see, imagine this pole is the spine, the spinal cord of a person facing the north, that way. I'm gonna be facing south, and sometimes I'm gonna switch out. I say what I'm doing, so you know, that is my opponent. Judging distance. We don't want to fall short, we want to land. So, when we're talking about doing our thing, right? However you want to have God up, mine is not up. But however you want to have a God, but we're doing our thing to earn the right to close that gap. Because once we come in line and range, all you gotta do is reach out and touch. Right? I get a little bit out of distance, you still can reach out and touch. A little further, you still can reach out and touch. You still can reach out and touch. Even though I can't, so we gotta be mindful. When can we be touched? If he can touch me, he can hit me. All right? So we was talking about when either we take the initiative, because there's always something. There's always something when I hold my guard here. If I got a high guard, somewhere up in here, guard that temple, guard that jaw. Some people kind of hold it up in here somewhere. But there's always a little piece of meat in competition. We're talking competition, sport, boxing. Where you can't hit below the waist. Keeping that in mind as we blend this with survival, where you can hit anywhere. But for this particular point I'm making, if you are going to take it upon yourself to do this, a Tae Waza, when you make this move, it would be most expedient if you did some type of boxing attack, uchi, because boxing is quick. Boxing is just bop. That's all you gotta do. Now if I did some karate, there's gonna be some milliseconds of difference. I gotta take some more nanoseconds of milliseconds to put that dragon seeking the pearl. And I gotta do Uda. I gotta observe, orientation, decide, and act. Boxing, once you get familiar with the targets, it's just a matter of clinch go. As opposed to, okay, because the human anatomy, it seems easy to the person that's moving and you move. So how do I do a dragon seeking the pearl? Right? That's dragon seeking the pearl. These are the pearls, this is the dragon. When this person doing this, I'm all over here, I gotta get in line to say pop. Now, that's wishful thinking. So you have a lot of washide, eagle claw, right here. We can do it as a strike, pop. We can strike and constrict, right? And like I said before, recently, anytime I do anything that lingers long, I open myself up to be thrown, broken, shattered, splintered, swept, held for strikes, and further aggression. Right? If I don't hurry up, push that button with the appropriate amount of pressure to get to the desired response. The desired response says faint-like reaction. If it's not just a KO, he like the ooh. These are the type of responses we like. Oh. Now that limpness, I can move in and probably do gooseneck. I go oshigui no mikuden. You know, these type of things where you're just taking liberties right now. You're just having your way for a brief second. Because many times if we do stun a person or daze a person, they can come to. Soon. And many times that person, they got fight in them. That fight gets more ferocious. And it's more difficult to do anything. So you don't want to dilly-dally waste time. We're talking survival too. But you can't do all that with a 10-ounce boxing glove. So apparently we're talking survival. We're talking about grabbing and holding and all these holds we do for judo throws and all that, judoka. Right? Shoots and all this for wrestlers and Brazilian jiu-jitsu and all that. So in your mind, put things in their proper categories. But being that body mechanics, the person is there in a certain position and I make a certain move, we want to take advantage of the opportunity right then and there to think about the variations of what we can be doing. So here we go. He is going to lead, be consistent with what he is doing, so everything I do can be realistic, be real. Recently, we delved into the hawtyyyReddd, which is a lot like skull and crossbones. I didn't break down, I was watching that film, and I didn't break down the skull and crossbones. A lot of times, that skull and crossbone, I'm not sure you can see my feet. I feel comfortable speaking at that distance, but I hope you can see my feet. You can see, if I can see that, you can see my feet. So now, skull and crossbone. This is my interpretation. It's open to argument when you get with people like Sensei Mo and like Burley, because that's who I learned from. See, in my Rialto style, Alto style, Rialto is different. I didn't get that from ATL, Decatur. I got that from Sensei Mo. Sensei Mo, Ramel, Mr. 52, like Burley, O'Neal Bourne, people like that. So now, this is what I got. Like Burley was talking about, sometimes you might not want to do this. You can, if that's what you want to do, but you do the mechanics short of this. You also got a little knee, you got some hip, you got some shoulder. That's going to give it the gusto you need. Although we teach, which is true, when I shoot a trajectory, this way, this way, this way, that's the direction it's going. That's where the force and power at. That's the most difficult to stop. Even though you can get to the point, you can do that too. Now, what's easy is if I deflect it this way, because there's no momentum and force going in those directions. Uke, receive it, control it, redirect it. Now, what's happening with the skull and crossbone? I want to walk up closer, so I'm gonna show the foot down here. You don't have to do this if you're in the habit of doing it, you like it. If you want to do it, that's you. Many people advise against that. And when you're doing survival, blood sport, no hold bars, you probably don't want to do that. Probably don't want to do that. Now, but you do want to torque the side. So what's happening, that trajectory is coming in this way. Obviously, common sense tells you that it's coming somewhere up in here. Mainly here. You definitely have targets here, KO targets, KO. So what's happening, you catch it here. Like they teach us the lead block, the rear catch, and we can put a little stomp. This classic boxing. Right? We can catch, we can shoot, right? We can go this way doing that, go this way doing that, go forward with it, right, go back. Now, what's happening, we catch it here, and what I gather, what I see is we are actually knocking it to the side, but we might be early and it comes and hit this. So you got two possibilities. Three, really. It might come here. Before you can come, this part of the shoe bolt can make contact with the fist and the shoe bolt of the opponent. That'll be a parry. But before they can get there, it might hit this and this. It might get parried. You might get all the way hit. Guess what? It hits this. And like I say, like Burley, a lot of times he cancels out. And I guess that's that shot that goes bop, bop, underneath, bop, 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 bop. That second shot, whether it be a double from the same arm or the other arm. Now that's the mechanics of a skull and crossbow, basically. And I did see Light Burley break that down. Like I say, being 100%, keep it in 100. Keep it in 100. I've said this before. I searched and searched and searched while I was waiting for my father to train me, who was a professional prize fighter and a coaching trainer, who became the not commissioner, what you call that? The title escapes me. He was on top of the city of Miami boxing Golden Glove program, Miami Parks and Recreation. We used to have Golden Gloves in one. Some of them have PAL there too. He was the eye. I'm saying commissioner, conductor. He was, I forgot the title, but he was up there, Jimmy Mack. A lot of old school boxers, they know who he is. Eddie Ludlow, Al Bernani, Dick Lee, all them type of people, right? Romeo, all the old school coaches. It's a whole lot of them. So, what is that title? Now, that's Golden Crossbow. But we were working with hawtyyyReddd. hawtyyyReddd is a lot better. And I'm gonna tell you why. Anything that takes you from empty city tack. We talked about empty city tack. Nobody's home. I am non-combatant. I'm not even thinking about fighting. I don't want to fight. I'm not starting a fight. But the fight gets started anyway. A lot of people, they want to take off a shirt, you know, one might want to take off a hat and boom, boom. But as things get more extreme and less bully-like and more just straight mugger, kidnapper, rapist, human trafficker, that type of thing, murderer, you usually don't have those luxuries. You probably making a trap for yourself. I need not to be caught with my shirt over my head, you know, halfway off the arm. I'm in a trap now. And somebody come and just stab me up or shoot, whatever they want to do. I did that to myself. So, the first response, and that's another thing. Many times people that do those type of things, they're not in immediate danger. That's the bully jive we talked about, fight science. Those do not register as worthwhile. It's not worth it. Always keep in mind, In a feudalistic society, which we pretty much still are in, the Inquisition's agents of Rome, which you call police, they tend to interfere. But what they're interfering with is feudalistic society. Consular court, round table, all that, right? Holding court in the street, duel, clans clashing, you know, and whatnot. So let's think about it. Somebody has to be the bigger person. It's been times when I had to be more mature than my own father, my own older brothers. We got a lot of friends. We got a lot of hotheads, and for good reason. But ask myself, is this worth? I'm not afraid for myself. I'm just a tactician. But is this worth me losing my father? My father died. I got robbed in Overtown. I had just left the hall, hour late, longshoreman. Didn't get work that day. Didn't get out. We used to call it get out. Didn't get out that day. Back in the day, used to use the Social Security card. You give them that. You get chosen to work. As a casual, definitely as a casual. And I didn't get work. I had the porter's outfit on. It's like a white barber shirt, black slacks, black boots, hard hat. I was walking through Overtown. I don't think I had a bike that day. And I saw a crap game. I ended up roping it off. I won all the money. Talking cash shit. Won all the money. A lot of jits out there, younger guys. Won all the money. I left. I got to the bridge by about 13th, 14th Street. Two guys came on bikes. At least one of them had wicks, long dread. They pulled up beside me, one on either side, like this me. One on this side, one on this side. They both got fired. They both pulled out like this, telling me just running. So it looks like they really just want to rob me. They really look like it. So either way it goes, that action of robbery, which is what they went in my pocket and took it out, smooth, you know, my slacks, you know, no pain, no manhandling, okay. And they're right here. So if I had to do something to save my life, they right where I needed them to be. Right here. Right here. Neck, eyes, all up in here, all that right there. If I had to save my life, they there. But I'm seeing, what do I have to do? When they got that, my brother kept saying, don't look at me, don't look at me. They took off. It's like the year 2000. 2000. Going to 2000, about 2000. Right? So now, I see, now they didn't hit it. I see where they ain't gonna kill me. We in Overtown too. Overtown, they get down, they don't play. They drop them bodies, man, pop, pop, pop. That's it. Too much dilly-dally. So I'm here happy I got my life. That's number one. Yeah, I'm pissed off I got, man. Yeah, I got robbed. I tried. Now my old boy, Jimmy Mack, he's so deep with like just connections from family, friends, alumni, all that kind of stuff. He could have a whole overtime, just give him up. I told him about that shit. Possible. That's a possibility. But also, something can go sour. I know how my old boy is. He'll go around, he done got up in age too, but he's been very young all his life, healthy, very healthy. So he was born in 1936. He outran me. I was real fit that year. I just come from prison. He outran me. You know, and I was going to be fast among my clique growing up, coming up. Kind of pretty fast. Running. He outran me in the year 1997. That should have been 97. We had just ran around a regulation track. Running around a regulation track, I think it's 5 times around a mile, I think. Is it 5 or 25 times? I forget. ran around the regulation track quite a few times. And Moore Park has a big grass stretch behind the fire department. He took me on the grass stretch. He didn't lead, I'm following his lead. And he pulled away, and I tried to stay with him. He said, born in 1936, this is 1997. I ain't but about 22, 23, but what, 90, not 97, 94, I was 21. 3 years, 24. About 24 years old. My birthday should have passed, yeah. My birthday should have passed. I should be 24 now. Because I ain't get out to July. Now, I know when you talk about goons, I used to tell some guys I know used to try to use the fact they from overtime, try to put fear in my heart. That's funny. A lot of my family had to move from overtime because of the I-95. So we talking about veterans. We talking about go back to the row houses, them slum looking house, shotgun house and all that. And a lot of them still there because they didn't have to move. Then you got their connects and all that stuff. These are the first people that ran overtime. The people that raised Bucky Brown, Danny Boy, and people like that. Now anyway, so what I'm saying is, keeping in mind, your chess pieces on the board, your father, your grandfather, your uncle, your brother, your cousin, your best friend, all this kind of stuff, they're very valuable to you. And it's more to life, you're more than just a conqueror. It's more to life than bloodshed. Oh, I whip the person behind, I don't take no smack. Sometimes some things not worth it. And sometimes the people around you, just to do right by you, because it's their duty in their heart, in their mind, they feel it's my duty. But then, you know, rules are made to be broken. Sometimes the fool is the victim for the particular battle for the day. So we want to pick our battles wisely because we don't want to lose our precious chess pieces. Matter of fact, it's sitting right on the chess checkerboard right now. We don't want to lose our precious chess checker pieces to foolishness and fools. Many fools don't care about their life. They're not like you if you care about your life. They don't care about the quality of their life. They don't care about their freedom. They be just as well in jail as just as well out in the free world. They have hardly any goals, any ambitions. A lot of them are very roguish, very untrustworthy, just spineless individuals, mindless individuals, pay no mind. You know, they may have some measure of qualities about them that are merits, some good about them. But they can go so low so fast it'll make your head spin. So I have something. And a part of God's denial or delay was in me. It made me appreciate more what I am trying to build, what I am trying to have in life. When you have a more appreciation for yourself, for life itself, and for the world around you that you're trying to build and the people that you have to work with, you tend to have more concern for yourself, more caution, more discernment. And this is very important that we go here because what I'm showing you is something that you can really harm people, and a lot of people are out there harming people for the wrong reason. But also, even if you had a right mind, being that you might not be as experienced or thoughtful, I want to put a lot of thought along with this. So I just said that to show an example of how, you know, my mind, I said, what if something happened? What if a fool, because these young faggots, my father grew up from a time where they used these. They had guns, but when they had little small minor confrontation in civilian life and all that, these are U.S. military personnel. So in civilian life, many times they go in here. He born in 1936. And he raised a lot of people to be like that, who weren't already like that. Some of them are anyway. But that mindset, sometimes you can be in a situation where it's not that they don't know, but just a little too much faith in God, and too much love for your fellow man, and here goes some young faggot ass nigga done up. And I'm gonna call him that, because I spent enough time incarcerated. A lot of guys get a gun charge, and they go in there and get around all these men, and all they got now is this, and posturing. They walking around trying to find who they can put fear in. Most people ain't scared. Some of them are. Most people ain't. A lot of them ain't. And a lot of ones who are not afraid and not simple-minded, they're quiet. And they know already what they got on their hand. All shit. Outside charge. That might be a murder charge for me. Or bad felony. And the way the state operate, the Inquisition's Agents of Rome / the bench, the Magi. They don't care about us. If we try to defend ourselves, protect our little behind, and try not to let nobody force their way into our mouth, take our belongings from us, that somebody found some money to set us some commissary, buy some new underwear and whatnot, and they try to take it. So usually that type, what they try to do is find out who's afraid, who's scary. They'll walk around and talk about all the stuff they do on the street, all the places they been, and parts of town they run, and all the gunplay and all, and everybody else just chilling. That's a very dangerous situation. And that right there alone, you gotta consider that. That's where you probably end up handling your problems on the street. Somebody tried you in some way and you ain't even wrong, and then the police come, they take you to jail. So just that, nobody died on the street, but you went to jail for a felony. Or maybe public disturbance, but why you in jail? It's way more ignorance likely, because amongst all these people who are just good people who happen to be in jail, you're gonna have a lot of them knuckleheads, because those are the ones who actually are doing something. A lot of us ain't did shit. But you got somebody doing something, and a lot of them end up in jail. A lot of them petty as hell. A lot of them got drug habits. Tell you about this. A person's life, me fighting with somebody who might F me up because I'm trying to take their stuff. You got people out here trying to snatch children away from people. Trying to snatch jewelry. Trying to purses, get caught burglarizing the car, trying to sneak and steal. If you got a shopping cart, unloading groceries, and you get caught up in what you're doing, maybe you got a hatchback, you was over there at the driver's side, and you go, and while you doing that, somebody done slipped up behind the other car's pod and try to. It's the type of stuff that could lead to you going, when the police behind get there, you can have cameras on the whole situation. They see, okay, this person drove to the store, shopped, paid, didn't shoplift, left out, might have some children with them, going to put this stuff back in the same car they pulled up in, and not still in the car. We ran the identification on that registration of license. Okay, that's their car, registered them or their husband or somebody who, and then they see on the camera somebody might have been lurking around the premises, might be on a regular basis, whatever, and try to steal whatever. And y'all got in a confrontation. Whatever you did to the person, you go to jail. You got a lot of cases like that. So we got to ask ourselves and remind ourselves, how important is this to me? Because a lot of times we could be right. will suffer and pay a heavy penalty because an asshole cop, a magi at the bench, back him up, state prosecutor, and then the public defender, whatever. You can't afford a private lawyer, even the private lawyer. A lot of times they drop because of attorney at law and esquire. Their first duty is to the court document. How much you pay? Roy Black passed away. Sagir passed away. I don't care how much you pay. So now, with that being said, we're gonna go into the slip. Now, that particular one when I said lead with your hip, the power, you step, you got to step. You got to make that step. The step has to be outside that lead foot. I put this person in South Orthodox. So the left foot is front, right foot is in the rear. It look like this. You can't see my feet that way. Tell you what. Where is that? Let's see. That did not change much, did it? Gotta be careful not to make that fall. If it falls, I definitely want to hit the ground. Okay. See the feet. I feel better talking low in my voice. Talking low. I got some people around here talking kind of loud. So, put it right there. I don't want to hit that foot. Right? Plus, I want to close this gap so I can hit the way I'm going to hit. When I do this other, do a couple of moves here. So, but both of these moves, the same foot placement. This is his core. That's this part. His foot's about right here. Spine, the skeletal system is here. Within the skeleton is where the organs lie. They lie within the skeleton. Talked about the rib cage. When I hit the liver, a liver shot, all this region here can pretty much get that response you want because the reverberation, the energy that's sent through that from that shot, the getting, or that, right? The kick or that, or the hit. Quite likely, you get that. That's what you want. Or back up, instant drop. This is what we fantasize about. One good shot that get that response and not somebody just, that's all you got? Bah, 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 bah. You know, oh man, that's a nightmare there, ain't it? Right? So now, we gotta get that real estate that gets our body in a position that as soon as we get there, we can fire and land. One simple move, show you how difficult this is to do. It's easy in training. I talked about Danny Bodish and Tommy and Kello. Yeah, when they train together, yeah. But when Danny Bodish get in the room, when the ring, all the person has to do is step back. Right? Step back, circle out, slightly. Talking about people who run, miles, run uphill, do all type of calisthenics. When you box it, that's the easy work. The hard part is just receiving the hit. When you actually get hit, that's just the hard part. Actually getting hit. Everything else is easy. Everything else is easy compared. If you train is always harder. Always holler. See? You can't really exert as much energy when you're fighting for the simple fact you don't want empty movements. A lot of times you see two good fighters, two seasoned fighters, they're hardly doing anything. Right? Conserving energy is one reason. Yeah, they looking for openings and all this kind of stuff, waiting to counter, trying to get the fog out their mind and figure out what the initiative they're gonna take. So now, when we're doing this one here, we can take the initiative and do it without a shot coming in, or we can do it with his left. This is his left. I'm gonna turn his way, because he faced that. Right? We can wait till he does this with the left, which is jab. Why? Watch what happens. That rib cage I was talking about behind that organs. This stomach, this belly, these abs behind that organs. Right? That's the main thing that's protected. Ab muscles, rib cage. Right? We put a guard up. Windshield. We put a guard up. Right? Shell up. Shell up. Right? That's a guard. Cross. Guard. Right? Guard. High guard. Even higher. These are different guards. Now it's hard to get in here because this is in a way. Plus, it's ready to be an active guard. That being said, you want this real estate, particular method I'm using, whatever his guard is, you gotta see this. If he shoots, that's open. Same shot, right? Look at all that open. When all this bicep and tricep and shoulder was sitting here down to the bow. Now I got these big clothes on, that's my waistline here. And in boxing, you can't hit below the waist. So my bow, depending on how long your arms is, my bow almost touched right here. Just a little above that. So a lot of that's blocked. But if I took these clothes off, you could see that just behind that tricep is some side rib. That's not the back. That's game. So even though he may be back, I still can hit some piece of this, and I definitely can hit up here somewhere. Open your eyes, realize. Here. This jawline. Shit, the nose. And it's just coming directly from the side. When we get that new real estate, that's more like a straight shot to us, because we're gonna be facing him. Facing him. So straight from our new perspective is no longer here, but now here. Along here. Here. Right? If you got 10-ounce gloves, they limit you in what damage you can do with a touch or a strike. Because mostly you gotta do punches, slaps. I could throw a hawtyyyReddd, this is hawtyyyReddd, the ridge hand, with the glove on, bah! I could if I felt the need to do that, right? But mainly it's gonna be inverted fist. Fist. We can do hammers. I gotta do the research. I can't remember if we can do back fists around. Yuriki. That's a back fist, right? We can do shoe bowls. You see Floyd do it all the time. Frame them. Some people call it framing, set them up like that. You can do that. And if he ran into it, that's on him. If you just put it up like that, he ran up and hit it, that's on him. But I do see them a lot of times, they will kind of like come up under that too. Body mechanics. As a football player, I know you know this. Body mechanics, certain ranges of the body, when you hit a certain way, it's gonna get a certain reaction. You can kind of like manhandle. Get him to do what you want him to do, briefly, right? So a push here, a push here. You can here. You see him a lot of times go here and turn him. Keeping that type of stuff in mind, right? But in this particular thing we're doing, I just want to draw attention to it because you can't see it. Number one, when the imaginary man is over here. So I gotta show this to you what's happening. Cause I'm doing it, and I know you ain't reading my mind, right? And I ain't throwing no blows because the main thing, first of all, you wouldn't even appreciate that because there ain't nobody there. But the main thing you gotta concentrate on is your car, your mode of transportation, your 2 feet, Tom and Jerry. These have to get you there. So what I'm talking about is taking that initiative when he hasn't shot. He's like this now. You don't have to wait for this. Perfect timing. It's cool. Yeah, that'd be nice. Why is it? Because he tends to be open longer when he is actually trying to hit you this time. He got to go the whole distance. You can't see that one. He got to travel the whole distance now. And put the little You know, he got to That's a little longer. Sometimes coaches will show Coach Bernard Simmons to show us this. Right? Full extension. But watch this. Saw that, say that space? We just closed. Why? Niggas pull just in time. They step back. They might do a spring step. Now, if I say, bah, that same thing not only might catch him, but if he's not careful the way he pulled back and all that, he may be a little more off balance than when he's like this. On his retreats and stuff like that, getting out of there, he might be kind of off balance. So even though you don't have a perfect shot, you may be a little kind of awkward for a brief second. You're not all that off balance. You just extended and toward it. So you say, bah, and caught up. Not only that, when it catch, bah, bah, bah. Now you see, you in pursuit, and you eat, you covered as much as you need to be. You watching, and you exploiting all flaws. This is very crucial. Most times you see a fight go from even to somebody catching hell. A lot of times, these little things, this is what's happening. Before you know it, put yourself in their shoes. When that blow come in, bah, we talked about this too. Bah, right? Yeah, this is a left. This is a left. This is my left side. Okay. My lead left, I'm in orthodox here, orthodox, his left hit me here. Boom. What can I see out this eye? And when you got glove, it's more that I can't see. So, bip, if it's a good bip, it's not only the fact, as far as it hurt and knockout and all that, I can't see. And I might have a little dizziness and discombobulate, and I can't see his footwork. Imagine that. Somebody, you put on a glow-in-the-dark suit and cut out the lights. You can't see nothing, they can see you. Imagine that. That's a lot like that. So they put it in there. They put it in there. Beep, beep. So now, when we do that, I call it lights out Tony James, because he's very good at all that stuff when you put your foot in the tire. Both of y'all got y'all lead foot in the tire, and all you can do is catch, shell up, and throw something. Ooh, that's all you can do, but you can't do no Muhammad Ali, no Sugar Ray, all out here shit. You gotta stay in there, stick and stay, right? That inside fighting is predicated upon you seeing. When you do the game of inches, Pernell Whitaker real good at it. When you do the game of inches, that fist coming in and you make a miss just by a little bit, the less distance between you and that blow, the more you can do in return, because you in there. And if you ain't quite in there, like he's sniping from a range, you can get in there. See? But capitalizing on the time it takes for him to go from execution of the blow to now he need to come back home, right? Depending upon what you do, because sometimes he might just cut it down or something like that. But he definitely he ain't gonna just stay out there. Don't nobody box like that. They don't box like that. They snap it, bam, right? But now when you ain't but so far, when that snap come in, bam, I hit it. That hand's still up there. Just be free frame. It's pause. We pause the tape. That hand's still up there. I just hit it and didn't get hit. That's what we're talking about. That's why we don't want to get too far away. You can, especially in sport competition. Hell yeah. Just save your breath and all that, last some more rounds and take your time and pick them apart and see his flaw. Yeah. But now when you get into the streets and all that, you definitely, that's another thing we ain't got to that part yet. So let me do this right quick. Matter of fact, no, I ain't gonna forget that. I will forget this. But we ain't touched on this yet. It's another thing. In the streets, outside of knives, because knives can be stored a lot of places. Blades and shit. Blade got something they got to about splitting them razors up under their tongue and all that. So that's something different. But guns, especially if they got a holster. You're talking about right here. I gotta go here to get it. It's sitting right here. It's another thing you want to think about. Gun right here, holster, or maybe it's just tucked in the pants. Guns right here. Guns right here, maybe at the ankle. I'm gonna break you off something real raw right here. Real raw. You go to the club. You like this? Where they go? Here? Yeah, look all in here, right? All down here, right? Right now. Ain't nobody gonna let you do that in no fight. This is one of the best ways to do it. Bang! That's that shoulder holster right there for that rib. Hold to slow him up. Bang! Break him up. Bang! Right down. Bang! That's that waist holster. Bang! Right? Bang! Another bolt. Take him back this way. Like that. If he ain't got no shirt, I could come. Hit. Cut across his neck. When I strike, push back. See that there? Bah! I'm patting him down. In a way, he gonna have to let me, because he ain't letting me. I'm earning that shit. I'm hitting him here, and here, and here, here, here. I'm gonna get back there eventually. But see how I'm doing that? I'm not trying to do the frisk at the club right now. I'm gonna whip his ass, because I gotta whip his ass, or get my ass whipped. But I'm gonna make sure, before I hit him anywhere else, I'm gonna hit him here, 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 here. Also, I was cutting across here with bowls and shit to keep him all balanced and to busy him with pain, discombobulation, and whatnot, and kazushi. 8 points of kazushi. Judoka, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and all that, 8 points of kazushi, right? I'm gonna get into I'm gonna get into that too. See, when I sweep it, if I can, and you gotta take into consideration. Sometimes nigga might be style as fuck. So certain shit you learn, you gotta remember, you gotta be common sense, dog. Certain shit I'm not gonna do is the nigga like 8 Ball from 8 Ball to MJG. I'm not gonna take my foot and try to James Bond slide his foot out with mine, a nigga that big. He'll probably just be standing up and step on me and crush it. Bow. A big stout nigga like that, big ass one thigh, this big and shit, I do uchi uchi. Me personally, I do uchi uchi. I had to beat him down and everything he sent through. And some people, like our little son, 3-4-year-old, we can do a little parry like this, right? Niggas, the bigger they get, the more I gotta put in my parry. I gotta put a lot into it just to get that shit offline. And on top of that, I gotta hurry and do some shit. Now, before we go to wrestling and tussling on, better hit his ass up with a commercial or professionally made holster. You got the shoulder holster, the gun sits here. Fuck all that strap and all that. The gun sit here. All right, if it's a shoulder holster, it sit here. If it's a hip holster, it sit here. If it's a frontal holster, it sit here, and it got the kind sit right here. Then you got ankle holsters. But you also got people who will find a way, nigga rig it, so the gun can be sit, especially right here and right here. When I was young, we used to run the street, we took guns here and here, a lot. No holster. Got a belt on. Jeans fit a certain way, shirts fit a certain way, you don't even know it's there. That's why the police stayed trying to check us. They didn't like preppy dressing, prep the way we do in hip hop styles, especially sporty hip hop and preppy, and definitely what they call it, dress to kill, dress to the nine, most definitely. You can have 4, 5, like I'm gonna get you sucker. You can have shit on. When you got a 3-piece suit, double breasted, fitted properly. So that's another thing we want to keep in mind: survival. The break fall. You gotta. I can't go over all this in no one day, but I'm touching on this stuff because it's very important. The break fall. Sanuki real jiu-jitsu. We break fall, forward fall like this. So when we finally land and hit the ground, I can see not only my periphery, but my rib. And I said I won't be doing all this, I'm about to get down. Take these glasses off and get out and show you some shit. But now, side fall. And you can go on YouTube and find this. They'll break it down. Grandmaster Anthony Muhammad, that's one of Doc's students. Good. One of his best students, one of his best. Grandmaster Anthony Muhammad, his son K-Lee, my Sensei Jerry Denson's brother, Shihan Kenny. They both from over town. But I don't think Shihan Kenny online. That's why I'm talking about people that's online. More than likely, Grandmaster Anthony Muhammad, back when we used to have VCR tapes. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the class I learned the T-rolls, the front fall. Right? You got I call it the gorilla roll, the side fall. You got the sweep when you're on the ground. I'm not getting down and doing this. So these are the falls that can and should be used if you don't have a better alternative. See? And when you become more of a deshi and you come in contact with our good instructors, if you don't get it from the instructor, as a deshi, the idea hits you. You might not be the first person to think about it, but as far as you know, you're the first person to think about it. You introduce that idea yourself based on what you got. So we use this stuff because we need it. And it's quick, it's efficient, energy conservative. You don't have to use a lot of energy for this stuff. So we can last longer, because sometimes, man, it might start off just you and one person. Next thing you got about 3, 4 guys right here. What's up? All close up on you and all that. You ain't, like I said, all that Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, all that, out there dancing and all that. Sometimes you gotta get in there and get down. And you gotta utilize this stuff, man. Kazushi, PR, nerve striking. See, you can't see that. I keep on you can't see. PR nerve, thing. You know, I gotta get out. I hit him up in the solar place. The other person up born right. Made some space. Let me get up out this hole. with the quickness. See, person that close, if I think I can do it, right? They crowd me up like that, I might go, what, to the throat. Hop, behind that. Oh, back. Now, that person back there gets the kick. Now, that's a steel pole. That's gonna slow me down right there. Cause I'm gonna go slow because I don't want to hurt myself hitting that jive the wrong way. If that's a person's anatomy, when I put that shoe toe in his throat, come behind with that impact right behind, 2 hands clap, right? Pop, pop. When I threw that impact, that what they call that Wing Chun, they got Fox up, bounce up, whoos up. You got one go kind of like that. So when I threw that impact, get where you gonna see that. When I threw that impact, right? I come back here for the head to cap, put that knee in that pelvic bone area. But now I'm also, while I'm kneeing him, my kick is chambered to slow that person down. And you see me stopping and hold, that's for you to see. That's not the execution. That's for you to slow it, freeze it, frame for you to see what's going on. I need to take advantage of, I get a reaction like that, I need to be going his way. Right around him. To put now him in the other way. What can you see? You can see this. That's the other guy, this the other guy. I'm in the middle. To get me out of this middle. And now he can't stop me from going this way. And I'm not just taking a stroll through the park, I'm beating his ass. But I don't have much time to plant and get good shots one after the other, because the person right next to me. So what I did was hit him really one time with 3 blows. We call it 2 hands clapping. I can't dilly-dally between the strike. They got to flow, nagato. They got to flow so that the person next to him that I'm not hitting yet, when he goes to observation, orientation, decision-making, action taking, before he can do what he needs to do, which is he needs to block this. He may be doing something like this or something like that. Cut! I got to bank on that. We got things to do if he just grab. But what I'm gonna not do is half-ass on the first person without getting out that position. Now, if we get a little more distance between us, I can do stuff like that. I can go for his eyes and slide over here, and if he do something like that. But what you want to do is hurry and get down and boogie. See, because the pain buys you time. The kazushi buys you time. I might even just hit him like this and it don't hurt that much, but he got to regain his balance to come at me and do what he want to do. And I done got out of position. Now he got to do ura. He got to observe. He got to do orientation. Where am I? What is he doing? Right? Depending on how many people it is and how close they are. See? Because if you in a situation where you pretty much know it's your ass if you don't fight, you better do something. Right? So we going over some of the things that's gonna be quite possibly in the ingredients, in the mix. When we mix it up like this, not in the ring. Now, going back to this. That's why I showed you about this. So when I get that real estate over here, I'm gonna be looking at something like this, something like this, something like this. But just concentrate on what's open, what's not covered. He can never be everywhere. If he comes back to a high guard, ain't nothing down there. If he come back to like a regular kind of guard, you still got a little piece over there. You got a rib tip here. You got shit below the belt if you're not in the ring. And you got this here. A good target, this is the artery, the main artery. I might be mispronounced because the way it's spelled don't sound like how my sensei said it. He say carotid, kind of like corduroys, carotid artery. That's how Sensei Jerry said, carotid artery. I usually say it like Sensei Jerry. And you got the jaw. That's a knockout zone. Temple, that's not only knockout, that's a foul suto. You can actually take life like that. A good temple shot. We talked about the breast. Right about where the nipple is at is where you want the fist to fall just above or just below in a circuitous motion. This is Pao Suto. Rainbow. Called the rainbow punch. Many times if I'm face up with him. Right? No, I'm not, no, that's a variation. That's not even a variation, that's something different. We're gonna stick with what we're doing. The real estate. Whatever. The foot, what I'm talking about. That's why I ain't doing too much hand, because you're gonna be so concentrated on the hands, you ain't gonna think about this foot placement. That foot needs to land past his foot, off at an angle, because I'm gonna start, gonna be kind of like toe to toe. Go symbol. If you teleport and all this kind of, you pretty much tell him what you're gonna do. So what you need to do is have a mean, straight up game. Now your mean, straight up game, especially you ain't hardly got that much training and all that, don't have to necessarily be mean by way of landing strike. You busy him with those jabs. I'm telling you, different type of jab. These type of things. If you in the street, you need to go on and kick too. The lower the kick, the better. All that high shit, that Van Damme shit probably get your nuts cracked wide open. Your head cracking some more shit. So, and it's quicker to get your foot back on the ground. It ain't far to go, right? Also, that's his, if you kick it low, that's what? That's his stability. That's how he up. His hand, the lifeblood of karate, easier to block, not impossible to block low, but it's easy to block up in here. And that take time. If something come in, especially if I'm not aware, if I'm not combative, something come in, it seems easy when we slow it down and show you how to do it, but man, it's a long time to go from here to something like this, something like that. That take a long time when the shot's in, bap, bap. That's a long time. That's why what? The first thing, head fade, which is automatic gonna do what? Take you off balance. Kazushi. So your feet being that vehicle, right? We want to head, I want to catch myself. Now I'm on balance. Because I step back. Notice the foot. If I go over here, the slip. That's front angle slip. That goddamn foot need to be there to hold me up. And I'm very, now, if I put a dip in my knee, and see this is the vicissitudes we going through, because we don't walk around like this. We don't do that. We ain't ready, we ain't thinking about it. It take a minute for this to come to mind where you ain't trying to hurt nobody. But the more we practice, the quicker we get right on the bike. So now here it is. The head fade to go with the foot step. And then I also get down. I want to really get down before I even do all that. I want to get down kind of like first. So it's more like, but by me stepping, you don't see me all the way down here because I step at the same time. So it's not this, it's more like, but I was trying my damage to get down right here. Now you can do this, but what happens is, a lot of times they came, it's kind of a long reach. And especially if they got more reach than you, if you return fire, you probably can't even touch him, he can touch you. And this is very important for shorter fighters. Mike Tyson, I always see Mike Tyson doing the shit he does. And he did it religiously. He didn't try to play that game. He ain't the tall man, he ain't got the reach. He can't beat Ali and Larry Holmes and all that. He had to find a way to beat Ali and Larry Holmes being a short man. That's why you see what he doing. He getting under that punch. Because with a punch, the main thing about a jab is quickness. That means that person is what? Tied to one spot, which is where your head is right now. Because he got to hit it. He got to go there. So when he go, more than likely, he really is trying to go in that general area. That's why a lot of slips, they work. So when they go and he was going there, not here. And he doesn't know what we just did. See, the timing, when you got people hitting each other like that, it ain't enough time to really see what's really happening. That's why some of the stuff we do is like a step. That cancel all that shit. Don't put that burden on yourself to read all that stuff and be on top of everything. When niggas hit you here, get up out of there. Make them work for that. Right? I'm still ready to fight. So he come in ragged, he gonna get hit. I can cancel out a lot of this shit coming in, pop, back. It's a lot of things we can do. But don't lend ourselves too much to the thicker things for too long without doing some shit. Number one, stick and move, but we move. Right? Move. So now, talking about still that same slip. Taking the initiative or slipping just off the head. And we just talked about what makes it work, because he trying to hit us where we at. Ghosting. I'm no longer there. That's the ghosting. I'm no longer there. He is now fighting something it's like he getting jumped now. If we hurry and get to what we need to do. Now I'm gonna show you this angle. His left side here, his right side there. Right? Now I'm here. Right? We talked about the weapons and all that. I need to do a straight shot. I'm on his left side. I need to do it because I'm facing him. I need to do a straight shot here, not that head shot. I need to do a straight shot here first. Bah, bah. If I feel that shit, if I feel it's a piece of metal right there, bah. If I feel that metal right there, I probably need to be back, taking him off his feet, right? Sweep. Hit him again, daisy, and get a lock going on that arm, especially that arm, his left arm, because that's probably the one, no matter of fact. If it's here, more than likely gonna go here. But sometimes they will have it turn where they can do it this way. Right? But actually you can do it this way. But you need to, but the problem is you are there right now. You don't have the luxury of leaving him to go to the other side to get the other way and leaving all this opportunity that you just earned just that quick. So look, bah! I felt that. I need the Nagasu, right? Only not to do a whole full beat him to death beat down, but I need to do more because I haven't done much, especially if it's something else, because that cushioned the impact. I hit it, not him. If I feel that pop, now I need to go off, pop, pop, the stunning. So like I say, either break this arm, break this wrist, break these fingers, sweep him, a nice nasty sweep, hopefully he break concussion or something like that, and I got a whole follow-up down there. I need to have somebody here for you to see the body. And I don't have to keep saying, well, he's like this and he's like that, for you, so I can go on and do shit real quick. Because you need to see, it's important for you to see the furtive movements that we make. Because it sounds far-fetched until you see it happen or somebody do it to you. And that's old, but your old moment might be too late for you. If you don't go and hurry up and get up under somebody who's gonna start showing you this stuff real quick. But these are the things we want to keep in mind for that particular slip. And now I'm already past an hour. I was about to go into the hawtyyyReddd, but we just did that. So if you go from the one prior to, not yesterday in the black and white, the hawtyyyReddd, I think I had on red, but that's like two 2 publications ago. So this one should be what? Peace. This particular should be peace. The last one was cipher. So nation knowledge. It should be nation knowledge, the one when I did the honey uki. The honey uki, why do I put it in the same family? Because I went to his side left when he was doing something like this, remember? With his frontal left jab, right? And I did the honey uki with one of these but I ended up covering and going here. It's that same footwork. So it's the same family of footwork. It's just a different Tae Waza. The head is doing something slightly different. With the windshield wiper, we just go do this. See? When that fist come in, instead of standing there and dealing with it some type of way, we got out the way, closed the distance, right? We could have did something here, but we didn't. We switched first. Buying us time, in case he is that quick, giving us variety. Because as we grow in our techniques, we're becoming very, very difficult to anticipate what we're going to do. When you got a Mickey Mouse set, and all you're doing is jab, right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. This can be very frustrating for somebody. That's all they want to do. Some basic shit. Even basic karate Mickey Mouse. Right? Basic karate Mickey Mouse. Hey, that's basic karate Mickey Mouse. We can confound people like that's all they doing. That's all they gonna do. Right? Because you have something in between what they call standard basic training, even advanced, which is innovation. So when you see Ali a lot of time, Bruce Lee and all that, they being innovative down to the moment. What's happening right now? Right this instant. You see, once you become more comfortable with your body and master yourself, master is a master of oneself. You do squats, you do jumping jack, you do all this stuff. You know pretty much what you can do on the spur of a moment that the person is not expecting. And see, the bottom line is when I make that contact, bop, them little bop, Chinese water torture, them little bop, that shit add up real quick. Then we get into all our other techniques me personally, you hadn't got from me yet. You know, because this is very important right here, the striking, the evasion, the evading strikes, the receiving, controlling, redirecting, the uke, that's what they call blocking. Receiving, controlling, redirecting. We want to be realistic about the fact we can get our ass kicked. We can get a barrage of blow or one good hard or 2 good hard coming and really mess us up. So let's deal with those things. Let's not wish they don't happen. Let's say, okay, he's doing it. So what do we do? Right? And what opportunity present themselves because they are doing that? Right? So, did I add something to that? Each technique bears 1,000 variations, because I'm running out of time, I gotta run. Did I add something to that when we started on? I would say yes. Not as much as I wanted. Oh no, hell yeah, I did. I didn't even want to go there. But I did. That part of the unsheathed sword, samurai sword fighting, karate, and things like that, uchi hand, they're empty hand sword fighting without the sword. So we modified. Grandmaster Sensei Enrique talked about the high fan. We did the high fan. So a lot of times you see boxers do this. That's that same concept of the high fan. They had swords doing this, big shields and stuff like that. We don't have all that in our hand, but his missile is coming in, we pop. We parry, shift our head to the side, instead of more dramatic things we do like this and all that, because that takes us out the fight and limits what we can do. See, I can do a whole lot more to this structure when I do this. Then when I do this, I can barely do anything except like this, you know, something like that until I change my structure, right? I can spin around and kick, but shit, I'm gambling. But when I do this, it's a lot I can still do up in here. I'm still in range. So that's very important, game of inches, that's very important. But like I did put something, I forgot, I forgot. I did, the unsheathed sword. In this case, the woo is the pistol. I said, we don't worry about the blades, because there's so many places we can put different types of blades all over, right? We ain't got time for that. We got to take that person out. KO zone, where the KO zones at? Because that kill it all. That's why empty hand fighting is so important. To learn, because that's all you got. If I got a gun and slip, it's on the ground. Oh, bop, bop, nigga beat my ass because I'm trying to get my gun. Ain't the man right there whipping my ass. You see? So you gotta have this at all times. And if you got it right, you get it down pat, you probably never had to reveal the fact you got one. So I did put some shit in there. Someone goes, yeah, he's technique, there's 1,000 variations. So that same technique, the variation this time, right, was the hit. This is left side. The two spots was probably hosted at. Here, plus you got here and here. I can do all that. From right here, like this is front side. I windshield wiper, took that step, that crucial real estate. You lead with the hip, you get that momentum. We don't try to drag with our foot. We go here and use this hip bone and put us in position. Now, a lot of times you see Mike Tyson do that all the time. When he comes, what does he do? He likes to do the uppercut because they boxing. He like to come through here and he can't hit back there. We can, and it's survival. But look, his front belly part here is here. So by me being here, that's more like a hook, ain't it? For me, from my perspective. This is a body blow here, and this is a body blow here, right? So we got a hook and two body blows we want to be preoccupied with real fast. Because what we're really doing is what? Our hands up. How they do when you go in the club? We searching, we strip searching. But we ain't got time to do that. Ain't nobody gonna let us do that. So we gotta beat his ass and strip search him at the same time. Hit him in them spots so we can hurry and find out we do got something. You got to really speed it up. You might not even go for that. It's a lot of vitals you need to be going for to knock the wit side of his ass so he can't go for it. The quicker you do that nigga on vacation, there you go. Get that. If it's a clip, drop the clip out. If it's a revolver, open it, drop the bullets out. Don't be so quick to use a gun on him. Empty that bitch out. Some instance you might want to throw that bitch in the canal. He might have some niggas around here gonna beat your ass, take it back. So you gotta observe your surroundings and figure out real quick, what should I do? So we can survive that situation, get the fuck off, live another day. Islam mode, I got to go today. I'm gone, signing out.